Hi and welcome. Today's question is, should I correct my puppy? And the simple answer to that is yes, you should. Absolutely you should. Somewhere along the way, some idiot stood up and said, don't correct your dog, don't correct your puppy, positive that, positive this, ignore all the bad behaviours, give it something good. So when it's chewing on your child's face, you don't correct it. You go, here's a treat. Nice puppy, here's a treat. When it's jumping on a counter, you don't get it off, you don't correct it, you go, oh, you just don't anything, you ignore it. Until what? It falls off and breaks a leg. What type of sadistic fool says something like that? A dog needs to understand the rules. Dogs work with structure. You give a dog an inch, it'll take a mile. Dogs need structure, they need rules, they need consequences to their actions. The shelters are full of dogs that have never had consequences. Millions of dogs a year are put to sleep because people don't train them, won't train them, and a large chunk of them is because people are trying to do all this positive bullshit. Should we positive train our dogs? Should we reward train them? Of course we should. But you need to have balance, and there needs to be consequences to their actions. So your puppy needs to understand that something's not acceptable, and to do that you use something like no or a correction sound. I don't like using a no because if you're getting angry it has too much venom in it. And more importantly, a dog doesn't understand English, so you've actually got to teach your dog what no means. So if you're going to say no to your dog, you have to teach it what no means, and you have to teach your dog that no means no. I prefer a correction sound. I just use something like a short, sharp, ah! And it's like a universal language. It doesn't matter if it's a dog or a human being, they understand, oh, that's not good. So if the dog's nipping on you, I use that, and then I redirect. All right? I'm not going to pin the dog down and roll it over. That's domination, and that's antiquated, and it doesn't have a place in training. But I am going to teach the dog there are consequences to bad behaviour. I'm not going to sit there and ignore bad behaviour while my dog's jumping up on a counter and just go, oh, just ignore that, that's bad behaviour. Oh, yep, not happening, don't see it, oh. And the dog falls off and breaks its leg, or it does, dislocates its hip or something like that. That is cruel, it's sadistic, and the idiots telling you to simply ignore bad behaviours have no idea. Like I said, shelters are full of these dogs that don't know consequences. Dogs have to know consequences. You can't have a dog biting on your child's face. What are you going to do? Just ignore it? Offer it a treat? You're going to tell it no. You're going to give it a correction sound or a pop on the lead because you're going to protect your child. It may be play, it may be just mouthing, but in 6 months, 12 months, it's not going to be that anymore, or it's going to just do really serious damage. Your dog needs to understand it can't do certain things. So please, correct your dogs, correct your puppies. Correction isn't punishment, but you need to block bad behaviours. And you need to guide them into good behaviours. You don't just want to block bad behaviours. Every time the dog nips, you just don't want to go, ah, and give it nothing else. You still want to redirect. You want to show it what's okay. And when it takes that toy, good boy, good girl. When it stops jumping on that counter, when it stops jumping up on you, when you've blocked the jumping up on you and you step and you block it, good. You treat the dog for being calm. So it's about balance. You have to correct the dog. You have to teach it right from wrong. You have to show there are consequences for bad actions. And at the same time, you need to reward the good ones. Hope that helps.